Hello, and welcome to this segment on the Revolutionary War public history. Today we're going to approach this particular time from St. Augustine, Florida. The city of St. Augustine is the oldest permanently occupied European settlement here in the United States. It was founded by Spanish explorer Don Pedro Menendez de Aviles in 1565. So let's fast forward 200 years as we land in colonial times. It is 1763, and Britain finally gains possession not only of St. Augustine, but all of Florida. The only reason Britain was able to accomplish this was it had made a deal with Spain to hand over Havana, that they had taken possession of during the 7 Years' War. Well, did you know that St. Augustine is known as the Forgotten British Colony? This forgotten colony actually played a major role in the War for Independence. St. Augustine, at the ripe old age of 200 years, was the capital of East Florida, which was an important military post for the British. Well, in 1775, when the 13 colonies rebelled, East and West Florida remained loyal to the king. Therefore, Florida became a hub for loyalist activity. The British troops garrisoned the Castillo de San Marcos and Fort Matanzas, and from this point forward, the city of St. Augustine served as a launching point for several expeditions against Georgia. Because it remained in British hands throughout the war, the city became an important destination for loyalist refugees from throughout the 13 colonies. St. Augustine was also noted as a prison location during the war. Several signers of the Declaration of Independence fell into British hands during this time and were brought to St. Augustine as prisoners of war. Now, what is the Castillo de San Marcos? Well, it is the oldest masonry fort in the continental United States. It's located on the western shore of Matanzas Bay in the city of St. Augustine, Florida. You can explore the fort's casements and take in the exhibits. There is an informative 25-minute video that is shown and features cannon and musket firing sequences and outlines the Castillo de San Marcos history. There are presentations by reenactors in period costumes that give historical weapons and cannon demonstrations, and presentations on the life and experiences of the colonists. There are amazing views of the city that can be seen only from the gun deck, or you can enjoy a restful break on the green area. This particular area on the fort is fabulous. It's very peaceful and calm, and you can also experience the sound of the waves, and during the reenactment periods, you can feel the shattering and the shudders of the cannons itself. From a military perspective, the two primary forts that protected St. Augustine during the American Revolution survive in remarkable condition. The Castillo, like most of downtown St. Augustine, is primarily a pedestrian area. Walking is the best way to visit this historic district, and it's about a mile long and a half a mile wide. There's limited public transportation, so if you're not into walking, you can hire a horse and buggy, a tour train, or you can rent a bicycle or motor scooter. Now, to end it with a quote from the Park Services. "America begins here, a monument not only of stone and mortar, but of human determination and endurance. The Castillo de San Marcos symbolizes the clash between cultures which ultimately resulted in our uniquely unified nation." Still resonant of the struggles of an earlier time, these original walls provide tangible evidence of America's grim but remarkable history. So as you prepare your journey to the Castillo de San Marcos, you'll find within the streets of Old St. Augustine fabulous dining, wonderful museums and water excursions, and the history of your country's beginnings. I hope you've enjoyed today's segment and today's journey into our past. Until next time.